If you don't want to watch my videos talking about God, I love you just the same. But for the people that do want to hear it, these videos are going to be here. Because in this dark world we're in, people think that this stuff is just a game. There is a reason why you see people dressed up as Satan, and people are just like, oh, that's funny, it's, you know, we're making fun. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all. They know good and doggone well that God exists. They also know that Satan exists. They're just counting on the fact that y'all don't know that.
China Ann McClain was born on August 25, 1998 in Decatur, Georgia, into a family where talent ran deep. Her father, Michael McClain, was a music producer. Her mother, Chantel, was a songwriter and screenwriter. The home was filled with music, faith, and creativity, and it became the perfect foundation for China and her sisters to grow into artists themselves. Her path into the entertainment world started almost by accident. At the age of 7, China was discovered after a family friend noticed her natural charisma and musical ability. She landed her first movie role in The Gospel, 2005, playing a young girl named Alexis. Even in that small part, she stood out. Her performance caught the attention of Tyler Perry, who quickly cast her in his show House of Pain as Jasmine Payne. That role wasn't just her breakout, it made her a household name. From there, her career kept growing. She moved into Disney Channel territory, where she really found her rhythm. In 2011, she took the lead role in A&P Farm, playing the musically gifted China Parks. The show was a hit, and so was China. Her role connected with young audiences because it wasn't just about being smart or talented, it was about staying grounded, being confident, and not being afraid to be different. At the same time, China was building a strong presence in music. Alongside her sisters, she formed the group McClain, later known as 3E. Their harmonies and songwriting were impressive, and fans quickly latched onto the group's sound and message. China also released music as part of her Disney work. Songs like Calling All the Monsters became massive hits, especially among Disney audiences. Her voice was powerful, soulful, and far beyond her years. By her mid-teens, China had done what many spend their whole lives trying to achieve. She was acting, singing, touring, and inspiring millions. But behind the performances, fame, and red carpets, she was already facing a deeper reality, one filled with questions, grief, and moments that would soon test everything she believed in.
Okay, yeah, I brought it, so I give it back to you. It's like, well, all right then. And I never gave it back, but I'm so happy I did.
One of the most heartbreaking moments in China's life came in 2019 with the passing of her close friend and co-star Cameron Boyce. The two had worked together on the Descendants series and had formed a deep, genuine friendship that extended far beyond the camera. Cameron was known not just for his talent, but for his kindness, his activism, and the way he brought joy to everyone around him. On July 6, 2019, news broke that Cameron had passed away in his sleep due to complications from epilepsy. He was just 20 years old. The world was stunned, but for China, it was devastating. She took to social media with an emotional tribute, her voice shaking as she tried to hold back tears. In the video, she shared how much he meant to her and how broken she felt. It wasn't just a co-star she had lost, it was family. China's response wasn't for the cameras, it was raw, real, and filled with pain. She didn't try to hide it. She talked about how Cameron had impacted her life and how his death made her question everything. That loss didn't just leave a hole, it opened her eyes. It became a turning point. Up until that point, China had been moving full speed in the entertainment world, but losing Cameron made her pause. She began to look inward, questioning the direction of her life, her purpose, and what really mattered. It was more than grief. It was the beginning of a spiritual journey that would lead her away from the very industry that made her famous. After Cameron Boyce's sudden passing, something inside China Ann McClain changed. She wasn't just mourning a friend, she was being reshaped by grief. And one of the first signs of that change came when she cut her hair.
I've heard so many people say, I don't believe in God because he ain't never tried to show me no sort of sign. He's never tried to reveal himself to me or let me know that he cares or in any sort of way. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to work with here. Really? How'd you come in contact with this video?
For someone in Hollywood, especially a young black woman, cutting off your hair isn't just a style choice, it's a statement. China later shared that the decision was deeply personal. It was symbolic. It was her way of letting go, not just of pain, but of everything she felt was holding her back. She said it was something God placed on her heart. And once she did it, she felt a freedom she hadn't experienced in a long time. This wasn't about rebellion, it was about clarity. Losing Cameron made her ask questions. What am I really doing? What's my purpose? Who am I without the industry, the expectations, the applause? Faith has always been a part of China's life, but during this time, it became the center. She started spending more time reading scripture, praying, and seeking truth over popularity. And that shift started showing in everything she did. She stopped posting glam shots and red carpet moments. And she said she started posting reels and raw in the comments. Instead, she began using her platform to speak honestly about life, purpose, and God. In one video, she shared how she felt people were asleep and how she wanted to wake up and live intentionally. She wasn't afraid to be different. She wasn't chasing relevance. She was chasing something eternal. For a star who had grown up in the spotlight, this was a major pivot. China began distancing herself from the typical Hollywood lifestyle. She wasn't interested in keeping up with the fame game. Instead, she focused on her relationship with God, her family, and speaking truth, even when it wasn't popular. She wasn't preaching, she was just being honest, and that honesty connected with people in a new way. Fans who grew up watching her could now see her heart. She was no longer just an actress or singer, she was a young woman, walking a path of faith in full view.
I'm just so thrilled because, everybody, the cast and everybody, they're just so sweet. And it's rare that you get to work with people who just love you and you love them. So it's going to be really fun.
When China landed the role of Jennifer Pierce in Black Lightning, it was a big moment. She was stepping into the superhero world, a powerful young woman with electric abilities and a strong moral core. The show had a meaningful message, and her role was a fan favorite. But just as the show was hitting its stride, China shocked everyone. In a raw Instagram video, China announced that she would be leaving the series. No media spin, no carefully worded press release, just her, sitting down with her phone, speaking from the heart. She said God had revealed to her that it was time to step away. This wasn't an easy decision. At the time, she didn't even know the show was getting canceled. She was walking away without knowing what was next, but she trusted what she heard in prayer. She said she felt a shift, something in her spirit telling her that her time there had served its purpose. She made it clear that her decision had nothing to do with drama, money, or behind-the-scenes issues. It was about obedience. It was about aligning her work with her values. Fame no longer had a grip on her. Her identity was rooted in something deeper. China's honesty in that video struck a chord with fans. You could tell she wasn't just talking about a career move. She was living out her faith, even when it cost her something. And that courage became part of her story. She didn't burn bridges, she left with grace. But her departure sent a message. Peace matters more than platforms, and when God says move, you move, even if the world doesn't understand.
I spend a lot of time.
My favorite. I just ate all your hair, but it's okay because it's you. It's you. It's okay. I miss you too.
I'm so sorry.
It's my Morgan right here. It's my Morgan.
Okay, you just asked me a question, but I forgot what it was.
Yes.
Well, I asked how you stay grounded, but I feel like friends and family, they keep you.
Is this your British
Yes.
accent right now? Wait, did you just hop into?
Okay, so Romeo, how do you
Yeah.
stay grounded?
How do I stay grounded? You already know the answer to that. But I'll say God. You got to have that anchor, right? So for me, it's always been God, being able to be obedient when others aren't, right? So being a God-fearing man is big. I know it sounds cliche, but it's real, right? When you read that Bible, it gives you guidelines to how to overcome a lot. So G-O-D, that's how I stay grounded. And good people, you got to have the right people around you. Find a China.
Oh, don't make me cry. I just got
Find a China.
I just got your picture.
The best photographer right there. Look at that. He taking y'all a job.
Jeez Louise, I like his answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Rose's answer.
After stepping away from the spotlight, China Ann McClain didn't disappear, she simply shifted. She moved from center stage to a place of intention, and these days her voice sounds louder than ever, not because of flashy headlines, but because of honesty. One of the main spaces where she shares that voice is her YouTube channel. There, she posts videos that feel more like heart-to-heart conversations than content. She talks about real things: faith, truth, purpose, and the reality of spiritual warfare. But she doesn't try to be anyone's preacher. She just speaks from the heart, often sitting in her car or at home with no makeup or filter. That's what makes it real. On TikTok, she's found another outlet. While most users chase trends and virality, China uses the platform to encourage people to think deeper. She'll post short clips talking about what's happening in the world through a spiritual lens, reminding people to stay grounded, to stay close to God. She talks about identity, self-worth, and walking in truth, even when that truth makes you feel alone. And the fans, they'd notice. One person wrote, "China's videos always hit my heart at just the right time. She's not just an actress, she's a voice we need right now." Another one said, "She helped me realize I don't need to follow the crowd to have value." I needed that reminder more than she knew. But it's not just about messages, it's about presence. And though she's no longer in the Hollywood fast lane, she hasn't abandoned creativity. She's simply more selective. Her days are quieter now, focused on music, ministry, and personal projects that align with her values. She's still close with her family, especially her sisters, and they continue to make music together, music rooted in meaning, not just hype. China has talked openly about how peace matters more than performance. She's taken time to heal, grow, and rediscover why she ever picked up a mic or stood in front of a camera in the first place. That why is now clearer than ever. Not because it meant she was back chasing fame, but because it was clearly on her own terms. Her role as Uma showed maturity and strength, and her return didn't feel like a comeback. It felt like a choice. She stepped back into the industry not because she had to, but because the project aligned with her values and she wanted to. And through it all, she's stayed grounded. China isn't chasing approval anymore. She's chasing a purpose. Whether it's through a short video, a song with her sisters, or a quiet word of encouragement to someone who needs it, she's still using her gifts, but with intention. What do y'all admire most about China's journey? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one.